401k. Oh, that would be good. What? Yeah, our benefits are really good. Yeah. Tell me 401k. Some jobs still.
All right, welcome, 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 8th grade parents and guardians. First thing everybody needs to do is take a deep breath, inhale and exhale, and know that you're not the first people to go through this process. It is overwhelming. Some people we were talking to on the way in, before they even grabbed any paperwork, said they were already overwhelmed. So please, we'll get you through it. I'm a former parent. My student is a freshman. So I was in those seats last year as a parent before I took this job. This is my 5th or 6th month on the job. So I was in that exact seat last year, stressed out, and I was a principal in another district, and I still felt like the process was very overwhelming. So know that you're not alone in that feeling. Tonight is the first night of several meetings that we'll be having with parents, students, to make sure that by the end of February, everybody has a real strong grasp of what's going on for 8th grade coming into 9th grade. We'll be meeting with the students throughout the winter and spring. Some of those you'll know about, they'll come up in the spring. Some of those our counselors will be going down to OMS and SMS to talk to the students. So there's a lot going on, but please just relax, we'll get you through it. My name is Nate Davidson, I'm the principal here at Parkland High School. I'd like to begin by thanking everybody for coming out tonight. Your attendance here shows how dedicated you are to your students' academic success. As I mentioned, our goal tonight is simple. By the end of the evening, we hope that you will leave with a better understanding of our course selection process, the courses that are offered at the high school, and where to go if you have any questions. We are fortunate tonight to have with us multiple administrators, counselors, and teachers who are here to provide information about the course selection process, curricular options, and answer any questions that you might have. In a moment, I'll turn it over to one of our experts, Mr. Roberts, our guidance department leader, and the departments of leaders of our social studies, English, math, science, and world language departments as well, to discuss the scope and the sequence of the courses in their departments. After this presentation, we will be holding 3 breakout sessions that will be led by various teachers, administrators, and counselors. I hope that everybody had the opportunity to grab one of these white sheets on the way in. If you didn't, no problem, grab one on the way out. But this just gives a general outline of the evening. Obviously tonight, we are at the top of our welcome on this sheet, but then as we go through this, we'll have presenters, and then we will have 3 15-minute breakout sessions. There are more than 3 choices, so you'll have to pick which ones you want to go to. But if you do have any questions following those, or you wanted to get to a breakout session that maybe you weren't able to attend, please send an email to one of the counselors, to myself, to one of the counselors at the middle school that your student works with, and we will get you answers that you might have for any of your questions. Please use the maps as well to kind of guide you through. It is 2-sided. Please use the first floor map. That's the floor we're going to stay on all night. There will be nothing upstairs, so we only need the 100 levels for this evening. Just before I turn this over, I wanted to talk about several sections on this sheet that you may not have any understanding of, or may be new to you regards to some of our curriculum. Obviously, most parents by this point are familiar with English, science, math, and social studies, but there are some topics on here that you may not be familiar with. One being Project Lead the Way. We have Project Lead the Way courses in computer science, biomedical science, and engineering. And those breakout rooms are going to happen in A126, A127, and A128. Project Lead the Way programs promote high levels of critical thinking, creativity, innovation, and real-world problem-solving skills for our students. When combined with traditional mathematics and science courses in high school, the curriculum introduces students to scope, rigor, and discipline of studies in specific STEM-related fields prior to entering college. Very rigorous courses, exciting courses. Our kids really like them. So that's something that we offer here at Parkland that is not unique to only Parkland, but we are one of the few schools in the Lehigh Valley that offers Project Lead the Way courses. Dual enrollment courses, which is in breakout session B131. Dual enrollment courses allow students to earn college credits while also fulfilling Parkland High School graduation requirements. Courses can be taken through Lehigh-Carbon County Community College and Seton Hall. In addition, several Project Lead the Way courses count as dual enrollments. Also with us tonight is a representative from Lehigh-Carbon Technical Institute in C133. Technical academic curriculum is designed for students who wish to pursue a career that requires specialized career and technical training. Students who wish to be prepared for a specific technical or occupational field, or who desire to pursue college or future post-secondary education, are eligible to apply to the Lehigh Career and Technical Institute for admission to the program of their choice. And finally, in D133, we have representatives that will speak about our arts programs, our athletics, and our activities, and we are truly proud of all 3 of those. We are excellent in our arts, excellent in our athletics, and we have over 80 activities that we offer through the school year. I would highly recommend that you encourage your children and your students to be involved beyond the regular school day. Students who are involved beyond the regular school day have a better experience, they're more academically engaged in the curriculum, and they have a better time here for the 4 years. So, before I turn it over to the real experts, I wanted to just introduce, and I think they're scattered throughout here, the administrative team here at Parkland High School. Mrs. Bennick, one of our assistant principals, Dr. Drake, Mrs. George, Dr. Meehan, Mr. Sherman, Mr. Monahan, our instructional supervisor. I do not believe Dr. Naradka is here. Mr. Dreisbach, our athletic director, and Mr. Nonia, who is working with our students who are getting prepped for our musical in the spring, which is Oklahoma, so come out and check it out because they're awesome. Those folks, and I went through that quick, so if you guys would just quick stand up and take a round of applause. These guys are These guys are the glue that makes all this work. I just stand up here and give a quick 3-minute speech and to get out of the way. The assistant principals, the counselors, the teachers, they're the ones that deserve all the credit. They are in the trenches and they work their tails off to give your children an excellent educational experience. So I'm going to do what I do best and get out of the way and turn it over to the experts. Mr. Roberts, you are now up. Thank you guys and have a great evening.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the parents of the students of the class of 2027. It's really scary that they say 2027. Mr. Galusi, our math department chair, and I have been here since 1996, so time is flying. If we have any former students in the crowd here, you're probably responsible for the gray hairs you are seeing. That being said, Mr. Davidson told you to take a deep breath, relax, we'll get you through this, so now it's time to stress you out. So, that being said, Parkland High School. Every student needs 24.25 credits to graduate from Parkland. As freshmen, your students will be taking 6.75 credits, most of them. Some more, maybe some half credit less. Of the 6.75 credits they'll be taking next year, every student is required to take an English course next year. Every student will take a history course. Every student will take a math course, and every student will take a science course. Those 4 courses are standard freshman year courses, so everyone will be taking that. World language. If your son or daughter is interested in going to school, a 2 or 4 year college, we highly recommend they take a world language. Highly recommend it. So those are your 5 core classes. Then we aim to get students 1.5 credits of elective courses. And we have a slew of elective courses here at Parkland. We encourage students to pursue their passions here at Parkland. We have so many different departments to choose from. So if students are unsure of what they want to do in the future, what a great time to take a business class, take a family and consumer science class, take something Project Lead the Way. So I don't know of a school in the state that has more electives than we do. Check out our course registration booklet online. Your students will get a hard copy of it at Springhouse or OMS in a couple weeks. You can see all the courses we have. So pay particular attention when picking electives. We'll have the students select about 8 elective choices. Our goal is to get them 1.5 credits worth of electives. They may not get their first choice or second choice of elective. Like many colleges here, we schedule the seniors first, followed by the juniors, followed by the sophomores. So we ask students to pick 8 alternate elective choices, and we may have to dip into those alternate elective choices. So be sure that they pay particular attention to the electives that they are choosing, and if any of the electives have prerequisites. Prerequisites are very important. If you want to take American foods here, you need basic foods. If you want to take some of the engineering courses, you may need the intro course or intro to drafting. So pay particular attention to the prerequisite courses. A little bit of a timeline here, and I hate going on script, but I'll go on script for this. January 23rd to the 27th, middle school teachers will make their recommendations in TAC. It's very important, probably the people that know your students the best are the middle school teachers. They're with them every day for an entire school year. So you really want to adhere to their recommendations. They see them again, day in and day out. They know the quality of their work. So depending on the level they're recommending, you want to pay specific attention to that. We send some high school counselors down to the middle schools in January. They bring a bunch of students with them and talk about life at Parkland High School in and out of the classroom. The presentation tonight is being videoed, but prior to the holiday break, the department shares film videos that your students will be seeing at OMS and SMS in late January. The next thing I'm going to say is pretty important. And I have a daughter coming here next year, so it definitely hits home. Mr. Davidson had his son come this past year. I have a daughter coming next year, and I think about balance regarding the rigor of the course selection, balancing that with extracurricular activities, and it's a fine line. You want them to take the most rigorous curriculum they can, that they can handle. I think of my daughter who pretty much lives at the Accent School of Dance. She was in the Nutcracker and she's in the middle school dance team. She gets home at 9:45 at night. I'm an hour into bed by then. So Today she's at dance practice till 5:30. She gets home, gets something to eat, goes to accent till 9:45. She maybe has an hour and a half of time to do homework and study. Let's say your son or daughter plays soccer and they have a soccer game at Pocono Mountain West and they're leaving here at 2:30 and getting home at 10 at night. Unless they can do homework or study on the bus, it makes for an interesting year. And unlike the middle schools, we don't have teams here. So a student can technically have 4 exams on a Friday. And if they have a big game on a Thursday and they're traveling, and concessions really aren't made, they have 4 exams on a Friday, and hopefully they were studying well in advance. Most students have never taken an honors course before. Unless they're very advanced in math, they've never experienced an honors level course or an advanced placement level course. Advanced placement opportunities for freshmen, not too many. There's human geography, and depending on where they're at with math and science, possibly AP Physics or AP Calculus AB, but advanced placement courses, they are college level courses. They can potentially get college level credit, so outside reading is extremely heavy. It's like when you took a course in college, that's what an AP course is like. Honors course, again, most middle school students have never taken an honors course. Extremely rigorous, independent learning. They need to go into that with a passion for that subject. If your son or daughter does not like history, but they're gung-ho about taking Honors American Studies 1, they're either going to learn to love history or they may struggle. So don't just take honors classes to take them. Really look into it. Does your son or daughter, do they have a passion for the subject area? Do they understand that they're going to be studying a lot more than they did in middle school? So these are conversations to really have with them. Just like there was a big transition from elementary school to middle school, same thing from middle school to high school. So really pay attention again to teacher recommendations, have serious conversations with your students about elective choices and what life's going to be like in high school, after school. Like the worst thing I see every morning on hall duty is students coming into the building looking like they got 2 hours of sleep with like triple lattes. And I'm like, oh, you're a freshman? Hey, Mr. Roberts, needed my triple latte at Dunkin' this morning, get me through the day. I was up till 2 a.m. Got up at 5:30. I see that all the time. So it's high school. We want them to be happy. We want them to have an enjoyable experience. We don't want them burning out by the end of their sophomore year. So pay attention to what everyone has to say here tonight. Go to the breakout sessions. The first step is that you're all here tonight. It shows you're serious about this. Again, it's all videotaped. You can watch it all again. And without any further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Tim Schwartz, our English Department Chair.
Good evening, Tim Schwartz, English Department Chair. I want to tell you a little bit about the English course offerings we have here at the high school and the differences between the different rigor levels and how the content changes from year to year. As Mr. Dave, well, first of all, Chinese philosopher Confucius once said, "A woman or man who does not plan long ahead will find trouble at his or her door." So to again, thank you for coming out tonight and be part of the planning for your son or daughter's entering into high school. Our team really appreciates that you're here tonight. There are 28 English teachers here at the high school, and I encourage you to check out our Schoology pages on the Parkland website to see the different teachers and what their websites may look like and how they approach their learning in the classroom. English is required in every grade of high school at Parkland High School, and the content is flexibly based on the following time periods. In 9th grade, the focus is America's beginnings to 1900 with Native American and colonial literature, and then supplementary readings. 10th grade then switches from America from 1900 to the present day with additional supplementary readings. And when I say supplementary readings, there might be some novels that we read from the 20th century in that particular class, the 18th century, the 19th century. It varies depending upon the content level at each grade level. In 11th grade is the beginnings of the English language to the Romantic period of 1798, again with supplementary readings. And then when they get to 12th grade, it's British and world literature from 19th century England to the present day with supplementary readings. In addition to the literature, every course level has intensive grammar, more specifically at the 9th and 10th grade levels, writing focus, vocabulary, keystone preparation, and then college and career preparation. The course levels that you can find for the English department are on page 22 of the course selection offerings, and the English pathway is also on page 22. The differences between the different rigor levels, honors and AP, as Mr. Roberts alluded to, for AP and honors, it has some recommended prerequisites. It's a scholarly and accelerated level, and basically it prepares students for future honors and AP courses and the AP exams that are offered in 11th and 12th grade for students here at the high school who take AP literature or AP language. The vocab is based on class content, and if you're in an honors or AP class, a final grade of B assures a placement in the next year's pathway course. Summer assignments are required for the English AP and honors courses as well. GHP, or Gifted High Potential, uses college preparatory as a basis, but it has more advanced content, resources, processes, pace, breadth of material and research, and the content is differentiated, and the on-level vocab for that course is from the course content. Oops. And then we have our CP level, our college preparatory. This is more likely an academic level. It has a slower pace and less content and intensity of work than the GHP, but it still is crisply paced for college course level readiness and to prepare students to go to college. It has an on-level vocab and course content. We also have a seminar level that's more or less a team approach to learning with a wide range of studies, and for this course, the standards are in place to improve deficient English skills in all areas, and classes are co-taught or integrated with history, and there's a differentiated vocabulary. And then our final level is the CEW level. It's career education and work. This is a traditional academic educational level with a concentration on career preparation, and students who select this course must also be enrolled at LCTI. It focuses on effective communication and integration into the world of work, and there's a differentiated vocabulary. What we like to do is in 9th and 10th grade for students who are in CEW or the seminar classes, by the time they get to 11th grade, we want those students to make a decision. Are they going to be going into the work world after they graduate Parkland High School, or are they going to be going to college after they graduate Parkland High School? So those two classes in 9th and 10th grade kind of set the scene for what they're going to choose in 11th grade and get more serious about their decisions in how they're going to achieve beyond Parkland High School. We also have a wide range of electives in the English department, and again, these are on pages 26 to 28 in the course content book. We have electives in publishing, our yearbook and our school newspaper, Parkey and Trumpet. We have electives in writing, Creative Writing 1, Creative Writing 2, and journalism. We have electives in the stage, theater arts, acting studio, technical theater and lighting, stage and sound design. We have a slew of electives in the communications area, Intro to Mass Communication, video and film production, our television and news studio, Parkland Morning News or Parkland Midday News, and public speaking. Literature and general electives, we offer Greek and Roman mythology, sports and literature, and there are others, and it depends if those classes run, if we have enough students who register for certain electives that are in the handbook, and if we have meet our certain minimum level of students in the class, then new electives may run that haven't run in a few years. We also have a couple clubs in the English department. We have our National English Honor Society, which students are eligible for in 11th grade. Actually, our induction ceremony is going to be next week for that, for the current 11th graders, and we have a lit mag. So if you have any questions for me, I will be in room A125 for the breakout sessions. I brought along the English curriculum that I can kind of tell you like how many novels are required in 9th grade CP versus 9th grade GHP, and I can answer your individual questions with that regard. So if you have no further questions now, I can turn the program over to Mr. Galusi, who's the chair of the math department. Thank you for your time.
Who knew English teachers had such a great personality? Now to the real subject. My name is Tony Galusi. I'm the math department chair here at Parkland High School. And it's a pleasure to be here tonight with you to talk about our math department and some of the courses that we offer. When you take a look at the course selection book, there are a few important pages regarding mathematics. First is our math sequence. On page 36, you're going to see a chart. And it's important to look at this chart because you're going to look at where your son or daughter is going to start their freshman year, and you can track where they're going to be their 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade year. On pages 37 to 41, you'll see the course descriptions, and we have a large variety of math courses to offer. And finally, we have the Project Lead the Way and Computer Science courses on page 78 and 79. But starting off with the math sequence, I think it's one of the most important pages here. We have courses that range from seminar to advanced topics in calculus, which is actually a third-year calculus course. Keep in mind, you need 3 math credits to graduate. I don't know why they have 4 for English, because isn't math more important? But most of our students here do take 4 math credits. And the big thing when you look at the math sequence, is this is going to come up in a little bit with something I have to talk to you about. Take a look at the finish line. This is, for some of you, the first time you're going to look to see what courses your son or daughter is going to take as they go through here. Take a look at where they're going to finish. Because for some people, they might want to finish a little bit further than what the sequence says. There's something we'll talk about during the breakout sessions as a possibility that maybe we can do to jumpstart that a little bit. Course descriptions. One of the most important topics, and I hear Mr. Roberts talk, yes, we've been here an awful long time, but I was the smart one. My kids have already graduated here. I don't have kids in dance anymore. They're out of here. All 3 of them went through Parkland High School, but one of the most important decisions we had to make, I had to make as a parent, is what level's best for them. You know, we do have the college prep, the GHP, honors, AP, so some things that I know I considered when we were selecting their courses. You know, what career path? Now, 9th graders, some of them don't know what career path they're going to take. That's fine. What interests do they have? Are they more the math and science, history, English? What past successes have they had in mathematics? You know, they're involved in a lot of extracurricular activities, and you know your son or daughter's motivation level better than anybody else. I still see my son up in his room with his headset on in front of his computer the whole time, and I'm pretty sure it's not for math, science, history, or English. At least I hope not, unless they're teaching some strange words in the English department, because I haven't heard those before. Keep in mind, too, there is summer work required for our honors pre-calculus, our AP calculus courses, and our advanced topics in calculus course. And most courses do have prerequisites, which will be listed on each course description. Electives. As incoming freshmen, the electives for math, you don't have a wide range of electives to choose from. One of our most popular ones, though, is our 359 course, Game Development and Design. I wonder why that would be so popular in these days, but that's a 1-credit course. We also have a technology internship course for a 1/4 credit, and with our PLW, we have our 980 Computer Science Essentials Honors course for a 1/2 credit, which will then lead into more computer science courses in the future. Everybody's favorite topic, summer enrichment. And this is where, when we have our breakout session, if you have individual questions, I can go into more depth with this. But summer enrichment is an online course over the summer. Everybody wants to take math over the summer. So we offer it in Algebra 2, Geometry, College Algebra, and Pre-Calculus at a GHP level. Now, to run these courses, we do need a minimum enrollment. For current middle school students, so this is for everybody here today, summer enrichment does not count towards their GPA. Okay. The high school, it does count towards your GPA. So when you take this course over the summer, and if you earn an 85% or higher, you're put up to the next course at an honors level. If you get between a 75 and an 84, a GHP course at the next level. If you score below a 75%, you will not advance to the next course, and you'll just have to repeat that course during the school year. Just keep in mind, there is a significant time requirement. We're cramming 180 days into about 30, 31 days. So I tell the kids to move 6 times faster. So it takes several hours a day to do these courses. Mrs. Bennett will be sharing information in January and February about this, how to sign up with these courses. And my final thoughts, this comes like the parent comes out. I mean, when I was thinking about this presentation and how to conclude, I would say take a look at the big picture. Yeah. Well, what are your son and daughter's goals? Where do they want to get to? What level is best? And keep in mind, there's a huge difference between challenging and frustrating. said, I don't want to bore you with all million stories about my kids, but I have twins at home, and one was more the arts and the other's more the science. So it made a lot more sense for my student in the arts not to get frustrated worrying about taking AP calculus. So that was a big decision for us with that. And building a strong foundation is key to success. I often hear like my students all the time, like they want to take summer courses, which is fine. I encourage them to take summer courses if they're able to. But they always want to say they want to get ahead. Like I always say, well, why do you want to do this? Well, I want to get ahead. You are ahead. You're fine where you're at. If you're taking the course to get ahead, sometimes getting ahead really is not getting ahead, because building that foundation is most important. So I look forward to speaking with you in C200 during the breakout sessions. So at this time, we'll go to the science department and Mr. Faluso.
Good evening. My name is Sean Faluso. I'm the physics teacher here at Parkland, and I'm also the science department chairperson. Tonight I'm going to tell you a little bit about our science curriculum. If you look at the course registration catalog, it's a little overwhelming. There are so many different science courses where I could see right now you're looking at where do I start? Well, the good news is going into 9th grade, it's actually a pretty simple choice. Okay? Let me give you a brief background of what the department's all about to begin with. So, within our department, we have 4 disciplines, and those would be Earth and Space Science, Biology, Chemistry, and then Physics. So our recommendation is that all students, if possible, take at least one course in each of those 4 disciplines. Just speaking from myself, I didn't necessarily know what I wanted to do getting out of high school, and I didn't know that I loved physics until I took physics my senior year. So had I not taken it, I don't know where I would have ended up. So something to keep in mind. So the one course of all those disciplines that all students have to take is a full year course in biology, and that's because from the Department of Education, that is a Keystone requirement. So students do have to take a Keystone exam at the end of that course. So our traditional course pathway in the science department at Parkland is this. In 9th grade, you take Earth Science, 10th grade Biology, 11th grade Chemistry, and then finally 12th grade Physics. Again, this is our traditional pathway. If you didn't know necessarily that you wanted to become a science major, this is generally the route that you would go. Now, some students already know that they have a high interest in science and they want to take one of those AP offerings at least. So in some cases, in order to clear the pathway for that, you have to take 2 science courses in 1 year, or unfortunately, you do have to omit one. So we just ask that you don't take that lightly. So that is a discussion to have with your child, their counselor, and their current teacher, and we could hopefully point you in the right direction then. So please see the grade levels that are listed for each course. They're also in the course catalog. But most students going into the freshman year should be taking Earth and Space Science. So the 3 levels that we offer are Honors, Gifted High Potential, and College Prep. So as far as the rigor goes, that's kind of like Mr. Roberts and Mr. Glucy, Mr. Short just kind of outlined there. So we kind of hold true to that. And I believe your children's current science teacher will be able to give them good direction as to which level would be appropriate for them. I think they would be the best recommender for which level to take. One thing to be aware of, though, with all our full year science classes is that they have a different time structure. So they meet every other day for 88 minutes for a double period, and then they don't meet in between. So usually your children will have phys ed or something else in between every other day. So be aware, it is a little bit of an adjustment for most students because you got to get used to that day in between and not procrastinating, and particularly if there would be an absence, it's a little bit harder to get caught up because you would have missed 2 classes. So just something to stay on top of your children with there. We do, however, still accommodate for students that would be going to LCTI. We do have some single period sections that do meet every day for Earth Science as well. So really the only other choice going into next year should be Honors Biology. So this would be preferably, if it's available in the schedule, in addition to Earth and Space Science. But again, this is something that you would want to discuss with the counselor and current teacher, that if skipping right to Honors Biology is in your children's best interest. So, so be advised, this is a rigorous class. The student requirements are they get a teacher recommendation, they have strong aptitude and possibly a future in science and advanced math, reading skills. There is a summer assignment, there's in-class long-range research projects. We need the children to be mature, responsible, independent, and motivated. We actually are seeing a little bit, right now, some students struggling a little bit, and perhaps it might be effective coming off of the pandemic and the way things had to change a little bit, where students maybe told others that it was a little easier than they thought it was. So it is a rigorous class, but it is still manageable with hard work and if the students are prepared. And again, be aware that that is a requirement that the students take the Keystone exam at the conclusion of this course. But if they do well in honors biology and they have good grades, I promise you our curriculum is set up that they will be prepared to do well on the Keystone exam at the conclusion, okay? But be aware of this, if your children would say sign up for honors biology and then wish to drop down to CP biology, we don't allow that as a freshman because CP biology in itself doesn't have every single thing in it for the Keystone. We actually have some biology Keystone content in earth science. So dropping honors biology in September results in a placement in an earth science class. Other thing that some people might be considering, I just want to address this right now, is we are seeing a spike in students that are trying to take AP Physics as freshmen, so going right to AP Physics Level 1. Just right now, I don't really recommend it. Basically, only a handful of students in the school are successful in that every year, so it really is good that students have a little bit more math background and science background before jumping right into AP Physics. Okay, so again, the conversation we had with the guidance counselor. And in science, we also do offer a whole lot of extracurricular clubs, including Club Med, Conservation Club, Geo Club, Physics Club, Science Fair Club, Science Honor Society, and STEM Club. And there might be more next year, who knows. So we encourage your children to really take the activities fair in September seriously and explore some of those options. And again, if you look at our course catalog, there are so many different AP Science offerings where it literally is impossible to try to take all of those. You just can't fit it in a schedule. And we don't want students to do that, okay? So to reiterate what Mr. Roberts said, Mr. Glusey, Mr. Schwartz, that you don't have to take AP everything. We want your students, your children to come out of here well-rounded. We want them to enjoy high school. There's so many different things offered here at Parkland. So please don't feel that taking AP everything, it might get you a little bit of an early start, but whatever you don't take here, can be taken at the college level. So the options are still limitless, whatever your background is when you leave here. Finally, if you do have questions about our biomedical engineering program that is taught by science teachers here at Parkland, but it is under a different department. So Mrs. Laura Kowalski can answer those questions in the breakout sessions today. I forget the room, but it's on your handout there. So I'll be in room C210 if you have questions afterwards, or even if you don't have time today, you can feel free to message me, and I'll be happy to do my best to point you in the right direction. So again, on behalf of the 27 science teachers here at Parkland, we appreciate all the great deal of parental support we get, and it's evidenced by all of you here today. So we're looking forward to working with you and your children next year. And at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Alice Steinball, our Social Studies Department chairperson. Thank you.
All right, so by now you're probably feeling a little bit overwhelmed. Don't worry, help is on the way. Social studies is very simple. So I can keep this very simple for you. I'm Mrs. Steinbach. I am the Social Studies Department Chair, and I'm so happy to be with you today. I'm also an economics teacher here at the school. And I'm here to talk with you about selecting courses for your rising freshmen, and then I'll give you a little preview of what would come in the years after their freshman year in our Social Studies Department. So I know all the teachers have talked about the different levels. I just want to talk with you specifically about what those levels mean in the Social Studies Department. All of our required courses, and you are required to take Social Studies in every year that you are here, all 4 years. All of those courses are available at the CEW, CP, GHP, and either AP or honors levels. If you're thinking about registering for a course at these highest levels, please know that these courses are designed for students who have very, very, very strong reading and writing skills, who are super interested in history. They're watching the History Channel or history videos on YouTube, documentaries. They just love it. They're reading a lot of history books. And in the cases of courses for juniors and seniors like economics and psychology, those courses also require some math and logical kind of puzzle solving skills that don't necessarily go with, your typical history kid. And so when kids are taking AP history and they decide, well, it's in the history department, that means I can also take AP Econ or AP Psych, they find that they need different skills for those, and it doesn't always match what they've been strong in the social studies department. So I just wanted to issue that warning, but that comes in later for your student, not necessarily next year. In 9th grade, everyone takes American Studies 1. So then the only question that you have is, at what level? CEW, seminar, CP, GHP, or honors. There is also, and I know Mr. Roberts alluded to it, a rare chance, if your child wants to take it, to sample an AP level course. Our AP Human Geography course is a super interesting course. It does not take the place of the required American Studies Social Studies class, but it is an elective that is available to our 9th graders. So there's 9th grade. You don't have to think about anything else. But I can give you a preview of what's coming after that. In 10th grade, also very simple, everyone takes US 2, or American Studies 2. But a few other options open up. You can also take US history at the AP level. A word of warning about this class though, if you've taken honors in 9th grade and now you want to try the AP class in 10th grade, you'll notice that we also still have an honors level of American Studies. There's a difference between those two courses, the AP and the honors level, and here's the difference. The honors level will pick up where the American Studies 1 honors level left off in history and continue onward. The AP US History course, however, has to be a complete college course in itself. So it goes back to the beginning, starts there, and does all of US history in that 1 year. So it moves twice as fast as that honors course does. So this is something you can worry about after this year, but I just wanted to give you that heads up. And then of course, that human geography elective is available for 10th graders as well. In 11th grade, we are now all taking world studies. The AP level of this course is available both as a face-to-face class and as an online course for students who want that experience. We all loved it during COVID, right? So it is available as an online course for students who either can't fit it in their schedule or for kids who just want to have that opportunity to do it at their own pace. We also have a few other electives, as you can see in this box. You could go back and take AP US History if you didn't do that in 9th or 10th grade, but everyone still has to take that World Studies course. A couple of other electives pop up, AP Psychology, or we also just have a 1-semester General Psychology class, a 1-semester Sociology class, and that Human Geography class is still available there. Really looking into the crystal ball of the future into 12th grade, there are actually 2 courses that seniors must take in the Social Studies department. They have to have at least 1 semester of an economics course and 1 semester of American government. And the GHP, CP, and CEW levels of those courses are each 1 semester. So that makes up your year of social studies. If a student wants to take AP Econ or AP Gov or AP Comparative Politics, those are each year-long courses, and they still have to take the other course. So for example, if you take a year of AP Econ, that does not fulfill your social studies requirement. You still have to take either a 1-semester government course or a year-long AP government course. So they have to try to fit that into 2 slots in their schedule. As a result, we also offer the AP Comparative Gov and the AP Econ course in an online version as well, if kids are having trouble fitting all of that into their schedules. And then of course, all of the other electives are still available for our 12th graders as well. So if you have questions about any of that, like I said, it is all pretty simple, but if you have questions, you can email me at this email address. Actually, that's old. It should say .net at the end. Apologies for that. I will also be up in C220, so you are going to need the other side of your map. There are a few of us who are going to be upstairs. C220 is upstairs. In the Social Studies Department, we also do have a couple of clubs. We have a Political Science Club. We have a History Day Club. If your student has enjoyed History Day, we do have a club that does that. And because I'm the coach, I have to put in a plug for our Scholastic Scrimmage team as well. But please do feel free, if you don't have time to see me tonight, to email me. I teach seniors, so I never hear from parents. It's always nice to hear from some of you. So with that, I will leave you and put you in the capable hands of Senora O'Donnell, who is our World Languages Chair.
Hola, bonjour, tag, welcome parents. I'm Senora O'Donnell, and I'm very happy to talk about the course offerings in the World Language Department. Language learning is a skill that all students have a tremendous opportunity to learn here at Parkland. Besides in a work setting, sometimes language use will appear in the future in unexpected ways or contexts, waiting to be discovered by your children. We have a very strong program that offers students courses that will lead them to proficiency in a second language and sometimes even a third language. Our department uses the World Readiness Standards, and these serve as a roadmap to guide learners to develop competencies to communicate effectively in the target language and also to interact with cultural understanding. And the 5 C's of these standards guide our methodologies in the classroom. The study of a new language and culture is an essential piece of being an educated global citizen. Our graduates who are dedicated to their language study here continually provide us feedback that not only are they applying what they learned from our classrooms, but they seem to have a leg up on the competition, or they've had more opportunities available to them because of their second language acquisition. Language learning has modernized tremendously in recent years. Students now have access to authentic resources online, and they're able to hear authentic speech, take virtual field trips, but also we're so happy that we're back together interacting and communicating with each other in the classroom, because that provides such great interaction with the target language. College requirements: most colleges require 2 years of the same languages. Certain majors like international business or international affairs or different majors may require more. Certain colleges, certain competitive colleges may require more than those 2 years. We offer levels 1 through 5 of French, German, and Spanish, and levels 2 through 5 have honors levels available. Later on, there's dual enrollment opportunities and college credits available through taking the AP tests. So right now, the decision may be what language to take, or if you've had level 1 in 8th grade, and that level 1 in 8th grade does count as a year of their language, because their final grade for this year for level 1 goes on their college transcript. So tell them to keep studying there in 8th grade. They can speak to their middle school teacher for recommendation, but also, I was just talking to my 2 honors classes today, and it's kind of the reverse of what everybody said. I said, "Are you glad you took honors?" And they're like, "Yeah, you know." I said, "What should I tell the parents tonight?" They're like, "Well, sometimes they're considered about, worried about course load and workload, but we're okay." And I'm like, "Okay." And World Language doesn't have any summer assignments involved also with the honors level. But they have to be interested in it. They have to have a good work ethic and, be a good student to take the honors level. We also offer this year Heritage Spanish 1 for students who speak Spanish at home. So that's an opportunity you can discuss with me, and it's also an awesome course that we implemented this year. We also offer American Sign Language 1 through 4, Latin 1 through 4, and languages are elective, so if you have a child who really likes language and instead of taking another elective, they may want to take Spanish 2 and French 1, that's also a possibility as another elective course. We offer Arabic and Chinese throughout Tri-C as long as we have enough enrollment for the courses for a fee. And if your child did not take level 1 this year, doesn't mean they have to take it during their 9th grade year. You can wait. We have 4 years up here to take languages whenever you want to take level 1. We have clubs for every language where we're so involved with everything in the school. We have honor societies for every language, so there's lots of things to be involved with our department. I'll be in B103. Muchas gracias. I will now turn it back to our principal, Mr. Davidson.
All right, again, deep breath. Exhale, okay. Attached to the end of this presentation are some helpful resources that we all thought would be beneficial. This will be posted on our high school website come tomorrow morning. All right, you'll be able to access that. The course catalog, which you've heard a lot about, is able to be accessed on our website as well. It's under the About link in our banner, and then once you click on the About link, it is under Forms and Publications. But you've heard it referenced a variety of times, and your students will receive this information as well when the high school counselors go down to the middle school. So it was linked in my newsletter that you should have received on the 3rd, and it's also on our high school website, again, on the banner on About and under Forms and Publications. In addition, it will be connected to this presentation so that you'll have the opportunity tomorrow in the parent resources to review it as well as check it out in other places. So there was a lot within this presentation. In addition to that, there's the high school administration webpage linked here, the high school counselor webpage, and the course selection teacher videos from grade 10 through 12, which again is more of kind of what you heard from our department chairs, but a little bit more detail as far as some of the course offerings. So again, a lot there. This will be posted on the website, so you'll be able to review that. But again, this is a process. This does not need to be solved tonight. We have these breakout sessions on both floors. Thank you, Mrs. Steinwell, for making that statement. I apologize. I had initially said it was only on the first floor, first and second floor. Good catch. But we will be starting the conversations, okay? You probably don't know if your kid necessarily should be in honors or AP or GHP right now. Those are conversations you need to have with your students. You know your children better than anybody, okay? We can only make general recommendations. We don't want to see kids, as I believe Mr. Roberts said, burned out come November, December, January. We want them excited about school. We want them having fun. We want them challenged, but we don't want them overwhelmed. And finding that balance is tricky, right? Like I said, I have a freshman who's trying to figure out that balance right now as we speak, as we look at the grades. Some are really good, others, not where dad or the principal would like to see them. But he's doing other things too, so he's busy, and your children are going to be busy, your students are going to be busy as well. So make sure you do consider that. And if they don't get to AP or BC Calc by the end of their senior year, that's okay. That is okay. There'll be chances to do that in the future. But again, we want to challenge the kids. We want them to have a rigorous course load, but not an overwhelming course load. So at this point, it is 7:52. We have 3 15-minute breakout sessions, as we stated. The first one will begin, let's go at 8 o'clock. That gives everybody about 8 minutes to get to a session that they would like to go to. We'll be in there for 15 minutes. You'll hear my voice at 8:15 saying the first breakout session is over. We'll restart at 8:20 on the second one. So again, another opportunity to talk to one of the teachers you've recently met or a new teacher. Same thing at 8:35. We'll end that second session and do a third breakout session at 8:40. We'd like to be finished here by 9 o'clock, so we are in that window. I'm sure you guys would like to be home by 9 o'clock as well. So, if you have any questions, please all stick around. You can ask, go to the breakout sessions, learn what you can, ask your middle school counselors questions, shoot us emails if you need to. And thank you for coming out tonight. We appreciate it. Have a great evening.